miss you coming back. Do you think of me? Sometimes I wanna believe in that. 'Cause I think about me. Just tell me now. Do you think of me? Think of me? Think I'm gonna make a move now. No one here, just us two. Yeah. Tell me, are you ready? Is it gonna be me and you? Me and you now. You and me are perfect, but I don't wanna hurt no one. When all is said and done, just tell me that I'm worth it. Tell me I'm the only one, yeah. Baby, it's been so long. I'm calling out your name. Do you think of me? Just tell me if you feel the same. 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 Feel the
Sky's beautiful and so are you. I wanna make it up to you, start something new. Yeah, I've been thinking of the parts I play for you. Now I'm drinking from the bottle as I do. It's like a long dream. You're on the wrong team. Oh, there's a lie and there's a fun coming out of me every time I see. Oh, there's a lie and there's a fun coming out of me every time I see. Oh, there's a lie and there's a fun coming out of me every time I see. I'm looking strong. I'm one as I want, fighting hard to be the better part of me, the better part of me.
I can taste
The show will start in 1 minute.
I love Zinzino.
I have been waiting for this for 20 years. Let's get this celebration started.
I am Katarina.
I'm Jens, and we are delighted to host you through this program over the next hours.
Back in 2005, we had the pleasure of being two of the founding partners in Zinzino. And the last 20 years has been a journey filled with growth, personal development, a lot of fun, and some incredible relationship created.
And today you will get the real insight of the strategy for 2025, how to duplicate and build your business bigger and easier, and a lot more.
But now, my friends, we are ready for
Vision 25!
There's a clear code for success. During 2025, we will have 1 million customers. In 25 years, that number will grow to 100 million. How? 25 customers per partner. The past 20 years, we've been building and refining the vehicle that brought us here. Driven by the power of preventative health, science, and test-based personalized nutrition. At the core of everything we do is our vision. Inspire change in life. This vision keeps us moving forward, while our mission fuels us each day. We inspire health and wealth for our customers, families, and friends. We have challenged the status quo since 2005, and we're here to revolutionize the direct selling industry with the belief that personal growth and business growth go hand in hand. It's your attitude, hunger, and action that push us to the highest level. It's all about progress and strength in numbers. We succeed by working together because in reality, the big deal is just a lot of small deals put together. And when we join forces, the impact becomes exponential. Are you ready to make your mark? This is your moment. This is the code that unites us for success.
"20 years is a long time for a company, a startup, with the founders, Hilde and Örjan. I mean, it's an amazing history of 20 years of growth. That is just like fabulous and fantastic. And then we are out of our teenagers, getting into our 20s. And there's a lot of companies out there that can't get there the first 5 years. And now we are suddenly in a place where we're gonna, after 2 decades. And one of the things that I see is that we have done, every decade, we've done some big leaps, some big jumps. So I'm extremely looking forward to the next 10 years of growth. I would say that I think we had an early conversation, and I remember where I was in Helsinki talking to Örjan. We were talking about what the what kind of changes we can do to this industry, the direct sales industry. And Örjan had a great plan on being customer-centric. And that started way before I started in Zinzino as well. And we have always been thinking that the customers needs to be a part and a huge part of our revenue. So I think that is the major difference, that we are extremely customer-driven, customer-centric. Then secondly, I would see with the products, of course, we have a fantastic test where we are measuring what we are measuring, the balance, the fatty acids, plus the blood sugar and the D vitamin, and soon other things that we're gonna test as well. So I think that the products, the customer-centric, I think also the culture that we have between the owners, the management, and the field, that we are owned by the field, by the entrepreneurs of the company, sets us in a different place, because the field always comes first, and we as a company are united together. The field and the corporate are working like 100%. I'm not sure if that is like a big differentiator compared to a lot of companies in our industry. I know for sure that we are one, and we are pretty unique in that sense. There are tons of things that we could be proud of. I'm not sure where I should start. We have a clear vision of that we want to inspire change in people's life. We want to inspire health and wealth for customers, friends, and family. We have ambitious long-term goals that we want to have 100 million customers by 2050. So that is the fundament. And then we have some clear core values that we are protecting every day. And with that said, you need to have a clear strategy, but also a culture that is fundamental. You know, one of the things that I want to accomplish is to break through one of the laws, the 80-20 rule. And I want to make sure that we are keeping the fantastic employees in our company, make sure that we are keep the keepers. Some of you have heard me talking about keep the keepers, move up or move out. And there is a couple of stories behind that. 10, 11 years ago, Greta, who is working in financing today in Zinzino, she wanted and she needed to go back to Lithuania to help her parents for a year. And we were not fast enough giving her an opportunity to work from home in Lithuania. Back then, 11 years ago, it was not everyone wanted to come to the office. So, and I regret it. I told Karin back then and Frederick that we should have hired her, make sure that she got salary and just from Sweden and she worked from home. But we didn't have that function. So when Heli told me just half a year after Greta was gone, that she wanted and she needed to go back to Finland, her home country, I told her that, hey, are you interested in us setting up an office for you? Because Heli, she's just amazing, just fantastic. One of those keepers as Greta. And she said, yeah, I'm interested in that. And then we just fixed the salary kind of things and the employment things from Finland. And when Gunter's found his love of his life back in Latvia, he's from Latvia, and he said, I needed to go home. We were having a plan of setting an office for him. Those are keepers in our company. And I'm also extremely proud of all the different employees that we have in Gothenburg and everywhere around the world who have done a career in Zinzino doing different jobs. So maybe 40, 50 people spread around in the company, and all of those are keepers in our system. I am proud of the customer-centric that I mentioned. I'm proud of that we were tough enough to go from coffee to the testing and the balanced oil, that we are tough enough to invest in all of these different markets. I'm also super proud that we decided 8-9 years ago that we're having tech first, that we're going to invest more than the competitors and more than we were kind of having money for in the beginning into our tech, that we have been steady working on improving the company. I'm super proud of all of these things, and it's probably tons of other things, like we have acquired companies, we have been establishing ourselves, we have been into some issues and problems, but we have lifted ourselves and gone through those issues with pride. And of course, 11 years, soon 12 years, with paying out dividend. Pretty proud, pretty happy about all of these things and the growth. There are so many things that I would probably mention, I should have mentioned. I'm grateful to all of these things. Well, 10 years is a long period of time. One of the things I'm sure of, with the database that we have, with the knowledge that we're gonna assemble, with the crowd science that we are able to do, with the curiosity and the culture that we have, I know for sure that we will do tremendous leap when it comes to the product of preventative health. So I see a future 10 years from now that we have invented a combination of a product which is just going to be even better than what we have today. I know that we have opened tons of more countries, that we have had growth for 10 years, that the Zinzino have probably the size 3-4 times of the size of what we are today. So that's going to be pretty exciting for all of us. And who knows, we have probably acquired a couple of companies that have given us even more knowledge than what we have today. So I see a great future, growth and sustainable profits and new products and tests. We are probably next year, I'm not saying probably because I thought we were having a new product in 2024, but I am pretty sure that we're going to launch new tests that's going to be tremendously good for preventative health, for our customers today and the partners today, all of these things. I know, but I can't tell you too much about that, but I'm sure that we're going to have 1 or 2 new products coming in from all the different tests as we are running at the moment. So that's going to be pretty exciting. But I think more important than anything else would be that we are making sure that the products that we have are maybe doing a leap and are doing improvement of the existing products. So we're going to put a lot of focus on that as well. What a year 2024 became. I mean, I'm so proud, so happy, all the new recognitions, going from doing the acquisition of the partners and customers with ACN in the beginning of the year, tremendously proud and happy about that, and Celis, and suddenly France became on the map again, and then Cliente, and other things that we have accomplished throughout the year. And all of those new titles, I'm so mesmerized and happy to see all of the new recognitions and new titles that we have accomplished throughout 2024. We're still going to put a lot of focus on partner tools. So partner tools, we are working on a kind of a secret project which goes on duplication of the message. What that means is maybe a simplified message and a pitch for the main products that we have and the business that we have. That is something that could help new partners, but also existing partners to leverage on what we have. Then presentations, I think that we still need to work and put a lot of effort into new presentations. So that's going to be one of those things that we're going to put a lot of effort into. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with what we have today, but it's small kind of adjustments, keeping on pushing, keeping on supporting, making sure that we as a company just provide our partners with those kind of tools that they need. And that could be translations using AI, that could be different other things in social media. So there is tons of things that we can do, and we will do those things. Inspire change in life means for me that we want to, it could be for a partner that wants to work part-time with Zinzino, having some additional income and being a part of more than just himself. So instead of watching Netflix, you can be a part of this and you can earn a little bit extra income and learn a lot about yourself, personal development and preventative health and driving a business. Secondly, it could be for someone who really want to change their kind of career. So they would like to just work with this. This is my new profession instead of being a kindergarten teacher or something else. Then you can work with this. It could also be someone that really just want to be changing their life through preventative health, supporting and being a customer. It could be that. So it means a lot of different things for me. One of the things that, or not one of the things, is many things that drives me and makes me happy. I mean, working together with such an amazing team that we have in Zinzino, both in the corporate staff, but also in the field with the founders and everyone. It's just like, it's a blessing in life to have that kind of work in itself. And I'm blessed and happy with everyone that supports us, supports me. Feel that personally. I'm a curious person. I would like to learn more, and having my position gives me a lot of new areas that I need to teach myself about or learn about, and that I have a credible kind of variation in my work, all from marketing to tech, to logistics, to finance, to sales. All of these things that we are working on in Zinzino inspires me. So I'm cherry picking the best that I can be a part of. And then when it comes to preventative health, and I find it fantastic to be in that borderline between, I like the business side, I like that we are growing the company like we do, that we can have the scalability and new markets. Well, that inspires me a lot. All of these new markets and the cultures, all of those different markets that I've been reading about when I was a kid that we're gonna enter into, it's just fantastic in itself. The combination between the business and preventative health fits for me perfectly. I strongly believe in, you can't predict how your life is gonna go. You can be injured, or you can get the disease, or you can be in a car accident, for all you know. But you can optimize your chances by living a healthier life. And both my parents have passed away, one in ALS, my mom, not too much to do with ALS, but cancer, like my father, and I saw all the struggles both of them went through getting sick. So for me, being inspired to take care of myself and to make the most out of my life, to take care of my kids and hopefully grandkids. So it's a personal kind of mission for me to be healthy. And you never know, you could be lucky, but I'm gonna play against the odds and make sure that I have the best starting point going through my next years of life. I hope for good growth, like this year has been. I mean, 2024 was tremendously good, so I'm hoping for the same and even better and even more. We are in a tipping point position, Zinzino. I can sense it, I can feel it, that we've done a tremendously good growth season with the last years, and I think that's gonna be accumulated over the next years to come. So we're gonna still do a lot of work when it comes to products, as I mentioned, new products, new tests, that's gonna be in play. Partner tools gonna be in play, that's gonna be extremely important. We're gonna invest even more in tech. We're probably gonna do some acquisitions to make sure that we are making the most out of the business potential of Zinzino. We're gonna open new markets, for sure. So there's a lot of things in play for 2025. All I want to make sure of is that all the partners and every employee in Zinzino are happy and proud of what we together have accomplished for 2024. So leaving that behind us, I know for sure it's going to be a busy but fun and exciting year. I'm looking forward to have the director's trip at Thailand. We're going to have an ambassador trip. We're going to have an annual event. We're going to have lots of fun, tons of events, new titles, new achievements, and new markets, new products, and all of these different things. And I just want to make sure that all the partners out there really feels and knows that we in Zinzino appreciate them. And I'm so much looking forward to see new titles and new ranks and new achievements for Zinzino in the upcoming year and years to come. Thank you.
Please stay tuned. Competitions with amazing rewards coming up.
Katarina, you look like 1,000,000 credits.
Thank you, and so do you.
And to everyone here, what an amazing crowd.
We decided to kickstart this celebration with the headquarters staff and all our partners around all over the globe.
And as always, we would like for you to interact with us during the show. So post pictures of where you are celebrating with us and use the hashtag ZinzinoKickoff25.
And the best pictures will be rewarded.
But as it is a special occasion, we are going to do something extra special.
And follow us closely and you can win tickets to the annual event, including VIP packages. When you see this clock counting down, please answer the questions in the chat.
And on Friday, we are going to draw a winner of a director trip to Thailand! Enough talk for now.
20 years ago, I wanted to give up, and I can remember still today that Hilde looked me in my eyes and she said, "No, we're people that finish what we started." What I admire about you, Hilde, is your strength and it's your unwavering commitment to always finish every project and make sure that we get what we started accomplished.
It might sound crazy, but in 2050, we will have 100 million customers.
Our vision is to inspire change in life. You know, without change, nothing really big can ever happen, because if you want to grow, you need to change. A lot of people have a struggle with changing, and that means that they can't grow. So we absolutely are committed to this vision of always changing, always becoming better. And one of the biggest changes that we did was when we went from being a coffee company to becoming a life science company. And we're on a mission to create health, to create wealth for our family, for our friends, and for all of the partners in our community.
I think my biggest transformation at one point happened when I decided that my past is not my future. I think to a certain degree, we all want to perform well. We want to deliver, but it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly reviewing if what you did in the past was good enough. And surely it's important to check and adjust in the process to grow. But at one point I decided I'm rather going to focus my thinking towards what I can create in the future. And I think that when I decided on changing that mindset, that specific mindset excelled me to become the woman I am today.
It's a beautiful thing when people come to the realization that they finally, while they've been searching, they've been looking, they've been thinking, I need to find a place where I belong, where I can thrive, where I can grow. And then they come to me and say, I found it in Zinzino. I feel at home. I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. That's an amazing thing. And I think that this is the strength between the top leadership of our company, between the corporate at the headquarters and around the world, is that we build a community where belonging and feeling at home is the center of what we do.
It can be overwhelming to feel that there are always 1,000 things to do. But when we look back 25 years and we look forward 25 years, I have to say I get very confident about where we are going. Because if I look back 25 years, there are so many things that didn't exist back then that today is a given. Now, let me give you a short list. My electric car didn't exist. My smartphone, social media, Zoom that I use so many hours on every single day. Before we know it, we will have commercial space travels, you know. Things are growing at such a rapid pace. And I think that if we start to describe how the future is going to look 25 years from now, it's just going to sound like science fiction. But again, we do believe that 25 years from now, Zinzino is going to be the most impactful preventative health company in the world.
If you're going to think anyways, because we all think 24/7, even when we sleep we think, why not think big? Why not create a future where you're successful? Why not create just the best that you can be? Like, why not imagine that you can do something amazing, that you become that person that everyone wants to become? Well, this is one of the things that I spend a lot of time on, is envisioning the future, imagining how it's gonna be in 2050 when Zinzino is that #1 preventative health company in the world. But sometimes you get doubt when you do that, and when you have that doubt, here is the techniques that I have. And that is that I say, well, if I don't feel it's possible now, but what if all the new technology in the world? So Hilde just gave you a list of technologies that have been developed, but if all of these new technologies were at your disposal, if you imagine a massive economic growth, which by the way will happen with AI in the next few decades, and then you imagine all the smart people in the world getting on your side, helping you accomplish what you set out, then I really think that to think is to create. I really think that your thoughts become things.
I started law school because I had an interest in helping people make things right. But through direct sales, I found a business model who gave the average person the opportunity to become someone extraordinary through systematic training, and where hard work would be compensated fairly. You know, in most businesses, you're kind of on your own and your competitors surely won't train you. In the networking profession, people are paid to ensure that you learn, grow, and succeed. And I think that when I at one point really understood that and the power behind that, I decided I wanted to make this my future.
You know, I didn't start out really great. I joined to prove that this couldn't work. I was skeptical, I was 17, I was arrogant like crazy, you know. I can't even imagine that I've transformed out of that little boy that didn't know nothing into who I am today. I think that getting your attitude right and actually joining to win is one of the most important things that we can do, because if you join to prove it wrong, well, even if you then were right, what did you gain from it? When I study successful people and I look at the people that I know in my life that has the most success, do you know what? They always play to win. They're imagining, how can we stay on track? How can we innovate? How can we make it happen? Because they are more driven about making it happen than for themselves to keep their feelings or being right or keeping their attitudes. They truly just want to change into that person that can make it happen. So how do you see people better? How do you see things better? How do you see life better? How do you see yourself being the best you can be?
When we got started, there was a few things that we wished to accomplish. First of all, we wanted to reinvent the networking profession, placing the customer back into the center. And then we wanted to move from being a sales company to a service company, where the products we sold would be sold as a service, best described becoming the Netflix of nutrition.
I remember when I pricked my finger and I watched that drop hit the paper. And it was kind of like it hit me that what we've been doing in the nutritional industry has all been wrong. We've been trying to guess how we're going to get your body working. We're trying to give you nutritions that we don't know if they're going to do. We don't know if you have enough. We don't know if you have too little. And then that's obvious that the credibility of the nutritional industry haven't been there yet. But when we start testing and we stop guessing, everything changes. Then what Paul St. Pilsner has said in his book, The Wellness Revolution, it's actually going to be a $1 trillion industry, because when it's test-based, it's accurate, you can rely on it, and you can know that when you change the things that you lack in your body, you're actually going to create enormous results.
Both Orion and I, we come from two small islands on the west coast of Norway. And you know, that has some benefits, because we do know that we're not the center of the universe. For us to grow, we have to expand, we have to adjust, and we have to adapt to be able to conquer the world. We also strongly believe in the Scandinavian philosophy of a strong middle class, where everyone has equal rights, where everyone's voice should be heard. Also something that I think a lot of countries and communities around the world could learn from.
Innovation is at the core of what we do. So we innovated on the test, we innovated on the product, and there are some big innovations coming up for the next couple of years. I don't want to go into the details, but I think maybe for the profession of direct selling, the innovation that we've done in the compensation plan is pretty huge, because at the fundamental of everything, compensation drives behavior. And if you want to be successful, it's the mind, it starts with a decision, but it's also your behavior, that you do the right things over time. And what we did differently was that we put most of the money in the middle, as you mentioned. And when you have a great Foster program, you're a customer first company, and you put an amazing opportunity in the middle for people to come out and at very little volume actually go full time, make 3,000, make 5,000 a month, but not taking away that you can make 10 or 15 pretty easily. And yes, we don't take away that you can make 20 or 50 or 100, or in the future people will even make 1 million, but you really focus in on the people that matters the most. And that's the local leader that is thriving by building customers and doing meetings. And that the middle of the comp plan makes the big difference when we want to go and become that #1 company out there in our profession.
Orion, he has both an intuitive and trained skill when it comes to numbers. He's a very strong, visionary leader, but what truly makes him very unique, obviously on top of knowing the profession inside out and knowing all of the different skills that is needed to build a thriving and successful network marketing business, is that he genuinely cares. You know the saying that people don't care unless they know how much you care. And what I can say is that my husband really cares, and he has a heart of gold. Now, many years ago, when we got engaged, actually a little bit before that, we decided that we wanted an ever-growing, everlasting, wildly romantic relationship. And, you know, a relationship, it can take some work, you know, and both parties needs to be 100% responsible. It doesn't necessarily work if you're like 50-50 responsible. And I think that that mantra has not just served us well in our relationship, but also actually in our business partnership over the years, where we are 100% responsible, both of us, to make things work.
I remember a conversation, maybe it's plus 20 years ago, where we set out and said, what will motivate us the most? What will make us the most excited? And we started talking about the opportunity to create schools, to have children from preschool, then going through middle school, and then all the way to college. And then through that, just changing the world, not only with the business that we do, not only with the products that we serve that impacts people's health, but in the nations that doesn't have the same opportunity always, and specifically in the regions of those nations. What if we could build schools where we bring 1 million children from preschool through college, paying the tuition, helping them? The change that happens in that family is just so amazing. And Here in front of us, we've got this year's school book. And I must say that it's touching every time.
This is the highlight, you know, every single year when we got sent these pictures. Actually, in these 3 books, we have 1,100, or actually 1,062 individual photos. So it's absolutely incredible seeing all of these children's lives that are touched because of the Zinzino community.
So we've achieved 0.5%.
Ok, nå må vi stoppe, for nå begynte jeg å gråte.
We've achieved with 1,060 children. We've achieved 1% of that goal. With 500,000 customers in Zinzino, which is where we ended 2024, we've achieved 0.5% on the mission that we are on to 2025. So when it comes to this project, we're actually ahead of the curve, and that makes me so proud. It makes me so excited because I believe this is going to happen long before we get to the 100 million customers, that we have 1 million children going to school and thriving, and their families being proud of their sons and their daughters as they graduate.
If you wish to be a part of our journey, you can participate 4 different ways. You can join our Give Back program, where you help less fortunate children get a proper education. Surely you can become one of our customers, where you become a part of this global megatrend, where you take the guesswork out of your health. Now, you can also take a look at our company, our publicly traded shares. Maybe you want to be an owner, buy some shares and give yourself the opportunity to invest in a company early, and a company that we believe will be one of the most impactful preventative health companies in the world. But more than anything else, we would love to partner up with you. Here you would become a Zinzino partner, and you would participate at our day-to-day activity, building your own business as well as Zinzino together with us.
Happy New Year! It's 2025. I can't believe we're already here. It's our 20th anniversary and we're celebrating. Well, the goals for this year we've already set out. We've been chasing them, and we're going to go to 1 million customers this year, and we're going to make it happen by involving at least 50,000 new people joining the business, getting customers, and building their future together with us.
Throughout the year, you can expect so many different things to happen. A lot of new campaigns, launches, as well as tools that will help you level up your business so that you thrive and achieve those things that you have on your agenda for this year. I really do believe that this year we're going to move over to the fast track so that we together will achieve the vision by 2050.
Thank you for always showing and leading the way. We are so looking forward to the next 20 years.
Test-based nutrition is at the core of what we offer, and what you will see in the next few minutes have never been done before. The key people that has been the cornerstone of our journey so far, discussing where we come from, where we are, and most importantly, what does the future of test-based nutrition look like?
So here we are, celebrating 20 years of Zinzino and really 2 decades of shaping the way that health is done on a global scale. And we couldn't let this landmark moment pass without stopping and having a look at the science that drives exactly what it is that we do in the 21st century. And so there is no better person to speak with, there's no better place to be at. Let me inform you, first of all, here we are in the bowels of the Vitas laboratories, and I'm here with Thomas Gunderson from Vitas in order for us to really talk it through, Thomas. And that's, you know, there's no better person because you've been here from the start of the test-based nutrition journey. And in fact, from my understanding, that journey goes back even further for you personally and professionally. So let's commence by looking backwards. Today, I really want to look back. Then I want to take stock of where we're at, and then I think it'd be wise for us to start to consider how the future might look. But let's go back first. Thomas, talk us through, you've been here from the start. Tell us a little bit about the history of what's brought us here today.
Yeah, you know, so Vitas is 30 years this year. So it was established in 1994, and we started by doing lipid soluble vitamins for the primary health care in Norway.
Oh, right, yeah.
Then we moved on to market for vitamin B deficiency. And in 2005, we started a company called Bioindex. Actually, it was the first personal nutrition company in the world.
Really?
Yeah, and we did like 5-6 different biomarkers from dry blood spots. And in addition, we asked some questions and we calculated the risk of different diseases and also the biological age.
So that was, I see, so that was very much focused on like the kind of disease aspect of it when you're starting to look at health.
Yeah, it was disease focused.
I see.
And one of these analyses that we did was fatty acids in dry blood spots.
Right, okay.
So that was in 2005, and I think maybe that there was a company called Bioactive Foods, and I think Zinzino bought this in about 2012.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And at that time they did the balance test. It was performed at the St. Olav's Hospital in Trondheim. And after a few years or a year, I think Zinzino thought that it might not be smart to continue to do this, to grow this company inside a governmentally owned hospital.
Mm.
So I think Ørjan looked, and he saw that there was a company called Bioindex, and they did fatty acid analysis. So he called me. I think it was 2012, 2013. And we gave it some thought, and we decided to go to provide services for Zinzino.
Mm.
And I think it was a good choice.
Yeah, I think for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's interesting you mentioned that, because when I was first made aware of Zinzino and the test, which is only 4.5 years ago, when I saw it, I went, oh yeah, it's the Trondheim test.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew it based on that.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'm aware now that it was adapted a little bit along with Professor Angela Rizzo. But so really that's where this comes into, is that notion of taking it from Trondheim, taking it to yourselves, which was obviously a wise decision, and then turning it into what it's become. So tell us more from that point forward then.
Yeah, so I think we kind of split the analysis floor in two. So St. Olav did half, and then we did the other half in kind of testing Vitas as a laboratory, as a service provider. And then I think they were happy with the services, the quality, the speed, and the prices. And so there was a decision to switch all the samples to Vitas in Oslo.
So you've hit on something there, which I would imagine is going to become a bit of a recurring theme for this conversation, which is quality. Without getting into specifics, this is probably the number one thing that we get asked about, even challenged about, which is the quality. How can people rely on the test? Maybe we could open up that part of the conversation now. What was it then that determined that quality aspect of it? What was it that you were able to evidence, moving those services to yourself? What was it about the quality aspect that you could evidence and prove?
Yeah, we kind of received the methods from St. Olav's, because, the data need to be comparable over time, So the analysis we perform today will produce the same result as the ones we did in 2013, right?
Yeah.
Of course, they need to be comparable. And so what we have added is like security measures, like quality measures, to benchmark the data, the quality, and also to secure that they reproduce well over time.
So essentially you turned up the dial on quality.
Yeah.
Essentially, for anyone who's not aware, the art of science is all about how accurate you can make an observation and how reproducible that observation is. Can you consistently measure something against the exact same standard,
right,
in order for you to identify any changes that have taken place? And in the context of health and then test-based nutrition, that is the crux, that's the very essence of it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Accuracy is the most important thing. And then that you have continuous accuracy over time, So, when we do like a measure, any type of measure, like time, or the scale you use at your bathroom, we need to have like some standard, some reference, For the time, it's the Greenwich Middle Time in the UK. You know, this is the kind of the gold standard. You know, and when you do like measurements on a scale, like when you bake a cake or you measure your body weight, you need to have a standard. You know, so you can buy a standard in the shop, right? So also for the blood analysis, we buy a certified reference material. For instance, from the Institute of Standards and Technology in the US. So this is the blood samples. It's freeze-dried, and we add some water and we apply it to the methods. We use our method to measure this standard, and this is how we can kind of benchmark the accuracy at the start, you know. And then we have these quality control samples. These are dry blood spots that we make from a huge amount of blood, the same type of blood. We make tens of thousands, and from the accuracy we have in the bottom, you know, the standard material, then we have repeated measurements of this standard over time. So what we are looking for is a straight line going up and down with small deviation. What we don't want to see is a measurement, a result going up, or going down, right? We want it to be a straight line. And then we look for extremes, like odd results, you know, not likely to happen. And then we do need to go through the calculations. And if you find an error, we can correct this and report the right result. If you don't find it, we need to do a reanalysis. And this is why we need a second sample.
I see, So in itself, the test as is today, and I don't know if we've got enough time to really delve into the full test kind of procedure, but the test itself is its own quality check by that process, isn't it? Yeah. So if we look just a little bit more then, you know, because the whole purpose of this is to capture 20 years worth of Zinzino and looking at this test-based nutrition, but obviously you pioneered in this space even before that, which is arguably fair to say was way before its time. Because I'd say that even now the world is waking up to this notion of test-based, individualized health, nutrition. How did you perceive that? You know, let's go back to 2012, 2013, and you take this phone call from Orion, which is about moving this test to you. What was your expectation and what was your vision at that point? Did you have any idea it would grow to the extent that it is now?
No, I couldn't imagine, no. I mean, it was, I think we did like at max 2,000 tests per month. Right. At that time.
Yeah.
Now we are approaching 25,000.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah. We have like 1 or 2 machines now. We have 17, you know. So it's growing by about 20% per year now. So as you know, we reached 1 million not long ago, and we are fast approaching another million.
That's right.
So I think it's looking exponential. So in a few years, it's going to be millions of samples, I think.
And so does that meet with the expectations you had, you know, a long time, even before you'd heard of Zinzino? Does that meet with those expectations now? Or I guess more importantly, the time between those two, what do you think now as you look forward? How is this whole field going to open up? What do you imagine is going to be the next kind of leap and step in this notion of test-based nutrition and health?
I think we're gonna, I mean, one important thing is that Zinzino is a global company, you know, expanding all over the world. I think in the start it was more like a Nordic type of company. Now it's expanding into more and more countries. I think this is a major important thing. And of course we are adding more tests. In addition to the balance test, we now have the vitamin D test and the diabetes test. And as you know, I think the diabetes test is really important. I know you do as well. And I think I would really like Zinzino to focus a lot on this diabetes test in the future. And of course, we are getting a lot of data. And this also has a lot of high value, I would say, you know. So we need to work with the data and publish scientific papers from the data and learn from the data to help the people that donate these samples.
Well, I mean, there's so many things there, Thomas. Where should we delve into next? I'm inclined to delve into capacity, but I'm going to come back to that because I know that's something else that people, you know, they say, great, so there's all this growth, there's millions of samples, but, you know, can we sustain that and can we maintain that? But I'll come back to that because I think it's a bit more interesting if we look at the present. And this is something that you and I deal with on certainly a monthly basis, if not a weekly basis. That analysis of the database and the types of information, you know, the types of what we can draw from that from a meaningful point of view. So let's first start off with, you know, we're on the threshold of publishing those initial papers of the balance test data, of that fatty acid profile. That's going to have a huge impact on how the world thinks of omega-3 and the status of omega-3 from a global point of view. But let's delve into that vitamin D and HbA1c, or the type 2, the blood sugar test. What kind of data can we really elicit from that? And what do you think how do you think that's going to help us to shape health as we move forward?
I think for the vitamin D test, you know, it's do you have sufficient supplies of vitamin D in your body, in the blood, you know, feeding your organs, your different cells. And I think there is a misunderstanding on the vitamin D status in the world, because people think that the closer you are to equator, the higher your better your vitamin D status is. Actually, it's opposite, you know. So the status is best in Nordic countries, and it's worse in Africa, and in Spain, and in countries with a lot of sun. So I think this will be an important tool to actually show people who has sufficient supplies of vitamin D, and who has not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I mean, 20 years ago, I was taken to stages and conferences trying to encourage everybody to consider how they would supplement with vitamin D because of these kind of factors. And I feel now that we've had huge echoes around the world as to why that's important, but still, it's the same challenge of getting people to wake up on that notion. Is data the way to prove that? Or is it through communication? I think luckily at Zinzino we have both. Which do you think? Yeah, both. Yeah.
So you need to measure first, and then you can communicate, and then you can correct, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And obtain better health.
Without going into there's certain things we can't discuss today because it's data we're working on. But you know, if we look at what we very proudly call crowd science, and that's where we look at the opportunity we have to analyze and interpret these databases, and we've discussed recently there are certain insights coming forward with regards to certain types of Zinzino products and its impact on cholesterol, and when we start to look at triglycerides, what do you see as the kind of future for that, and how we go about managing that message?
I think this is a very exciting field, and I think the important key is that the numbers are getting high. We have a lot of power. We do like 20,000 people every month. In a year, it's like 300,000 people. And after 3 years, it's like 3 million people. We have a lot of data, And we can, in 1 month, we can easily look into the diabetes issue. And we can see what kind of product will lower your blood sugar and help people to reverse type 2 diabetes. In another month, we can look at sleep deprivation, for instance, because a lot of people have issues with sleep, right? And we know that sleep is really, really important for health. So people could sign up in a crowd science fashion to help investigate sleep issues, in a similar way, we can do all sorts of different things over the years, But I think this is a kind of a responsibility that Zinzino actually has, to use the power they have in this system, this platform, to do science.
I mean, I've written about this, which is this notion that traditional scientific methods has always been to collect the population size, which has a statistical relevance, make observations, and then draw that out against the population. And I was taught that, as I'm sure you were, whilst at university and learning about research. And I always remember one of our professors saying, the reason we do this is because we can't just go out and measure the whole world. And then you've got an organization like Zinzino,
you can.
with Vitas, who's literally just going out and measuring the world. And so there's a huge value in the insights that give that's decidedly different to traditional research, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I really think that together, Zinzino and Vitas and the crowd out there, the Zinzino crowd, can really make a difference into science, And if we carefully shape this platform, the crowd science platform, making sure it has sufficient quality, as it grows, you know, and maybe team up with top-notch researchers at Ivy League universities like Cambridge or Harvard, you know. I think this could be really, really, really valuable for the humankind, actually.
Well, I mean, that's certainly the direction that we are rapidly heading in. We've touched a little bit on quality, which is really important when it comes to test-based health, nutrition. Of course it is. But let's talk a little bit about capacity, because throughout this conversation we've talked about those increasing numbers.
Yeah.
And I guess there's also an art to marrying that notion of maintaining quality as you increase capacity.
Yeah.
So talk us through the processes from Vitas's point of view. How are we future-proof? How do we look down the lens of the next 20 years and make sure that we're ever increasing numbers, maintaining that quality, and that we can serve that amount of people?
I think what is really, really good is that we are not beginners at this, you know. We've been doing this for 30 years, you know, shaping the methods. Now it's very robust, you know. So when I have visitors in the lab, I use the term copy paste, you know.
Yeah.
Because we don't develop new things, you know. We change tiny things, you know, but mainly we copy paste, you know. So when we have another 4,000 samples, we just copy paste one instrument, one method, you know, the people, the knowledge, the IP, you know. And I think this is quite important, to not be tempted to go for new technologies, but stay with the ones that really work, you know, because when you have this growth, you know, you need to be really careful what you change. Because changes are dangerous, you know. So you need to be careful what you change, just small things, and evaluate it really carefully before you do it. So I think this kind of thinking is really important to maintain the robustness as we grow this into enormous numbers in the future.
And that actually brings me back to another point that I want us to touch upon before we finish here, really, is that we're looking forward to the future. To, you know, hopefully we'll be having a conversation when we reach the 30-year milestone.
Yeah.
So you and I both know there are tests that we're working on right now, and that have taken a lot of time and perseverance and intellect and emotion. And maybe people are wondering, well, why is this taking so long? So give us your take on why these newer tests that we're about to bring forward have taken the time they've taken to develop.
You know, science is difficult, you know. To make new innovations are difficult, you know, and it need to have quality and need to be meaningful for the user, right? So, I mean, it takes time, and actually to merge like commercial interest and science is maybe one of the more difficult things you can do. Because the commercial forces, they need speed and make money and so on. But science, you know, as scientists, we need to make sure that it's not launched before it has the sufficient quality, right? So we will never launch anything before it has meaning for the consumer and has sufficient quality. And this is difficult, and it takes time, you know. But in the end, we will have a new product, and it will have top-notch quality, and it will be meaningful for the consumer, and it will add to also the income of Zinzino and Vitas.
Let's really start to wrap this up by, let's take a moment to predict. Let's have a look at you and I sat in a similar place like this, 10 years time, looking just as young and handsome. What do you think we will be reflecting on then? So imagine now, 10 years forward, what will we be reflecting on? And what do you think we'll be kind of planning in our minds for the next 10 years of Zinzino at that point?
I think we will agree that it was good that we didn't give up, you know. I think we will say good work. We managed in the end, and it was a success, you know. And we probably have learned even more, and we will have the knowledge to develop even more complicated and more powerful tests for the future.
Do you whole stock agree that whilst we're still in the early days of test-based nutrition and health for a lot of people, that when we get to that 10-year mark, the things that we're discussing will be far more of a common conversation, the far more people will be aware and have woken up to this notion of how they manage their health, and that the focus for us all will be on refinement and how to do things better rather than so much pioneering.
I think people will take more and more kind of responsibility for their own health, you know. They will demand services that give them insight into the numbers and the blood markers, not kind of relying on the doctor and the health system, the traditional systems. I think there will be more and more services that uses dry blood spot for testing, and I think Zinzino will be one of the major players in this field, for sure. And I also think that the database that we will have at that time is so huge and so high quality, and we will have kind of figured out how to use this in a way that really impacts health on a global level.
I don't think there's any stronger words that I can use to conclude this conversation than those, Thomas. So thank you very much for sharing those insights. And here we are. We've reflected on the past, we've taken stock of where we're at, and we've considered the future, and we look forward to speaking to you all again. Maybe 5 years down the line, maybe 10 years down the line, but here we are at the 20-year mark, having covered so much, but with still so much more left to do.
In which year did Zinzino go public on NASDAQ?
Sarah Hector here. I want to just first of all congratulate you. 20 years, that's amazing. You have done just such a great job with Zinzino, and I'm a very proud ambassador because I think your products are great. I feel good using them, and the energy and balance in life it gives me. I try to just stay healthy, and I feel like that you guys are a big part of this journey for me. So thank you very much for your support. Big congratulations, and keep on going hard. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Hello everyone, this is Zsolt Habda, the soldier, a former Hungarian Special Forces operator, and last but not least, a proud Zinzino ambassador. I've been using these products for 3 years, and we have been through a lot of preparations, tournaments, title fights, you name it, and many more great successes to come in the future. I can't be more satisfied with this brand, you know. Great people, great community, wonderful stuff, and quality products. What else can you wish for? So I'm congratulating Zinzino for this 20-year milestone, and way to go. Keep up the great work. Cheers.
Zinzino, 20 years at the top, and at least another 20 years to go. You've done a fantastic job, and I couldn't be more proud of you guys. And I am a proud Zinzino ambassador. My name is Fredrik Strang, and I've climbed 8,000 meter peaks and set a Guinness World Record in climbing the highest mountain on each continent. You see, in my world, it doesn't get less deep because you whine and complain. And don't ask for tailwind, ask for headwind, because that is when muscles grow. So let's do it. Another 20 years at least to go. Have fun and enjoy the ride.
Hey everyone, I'm Libor Podmol, former freestyle motocross world champion and Rally Dakar contender. I just want to say huge congratulations to Zinzino for 20 years in a business. I'm super proud I can be part of this big family, and I just want to say thank you Zinzino for keeping me alive and in a good shape so I can do this crazy stuff on motorcycle. Cheers for that. Thank you and congratulations!
2025! That makes it Zinzino's 20th year in business. Yeah, come on, get in there. I'm super excited and proud ambassador for Zinzino. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing as well as I am in my sport and also training. I'm literally just about to go for a run right now. So thank you for the Amiga rolls, particularly for me. And roll on the next 20, that's what I say. Good luck, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Imagine it's December 31st. You're all dressed up and you're ready to welcome a new year. And you turn to your spouse or maybe your friend and you say, "This has truly been the most incredible, successful year of my life." Now, what would need to happen for you to say that? Have you noticed how easy it is to use the word just when you speak about your goals? I just want my business to grow. I just want to lose some weight. I just want to save some money. Personally, I do believe that it's important to eliminate the word just and rather ask yourself, what are you truly on a mission to create during 2025? You know, your words hold so much power. In fact, I do believe that you create your reality through the words that you speak over your life. So the question is truly, what will you manifest to be the truth in your life during this particular year? Where is your focus? Where do you allow your attention to go? Because if you say that I'm on a mission to get to Crown this year, I'm on a mission to double my business, I'm on a mission to qualify for the director trip, I'm on a mission to get to the best shape of my life, you know, you automatically force your thoughts in a certain direction and suddenly it becomes a lot easier to make the plan, break down the numbers, and create the checklist for you to make that goal into reality. So one of the things that I really want to encourage you, my friend, as we're here at the start of this year, is start with the end in mind. Now, a lot of people, they believe that goal setting is kind of like just New Year's resolutions, and they walk out of the door a few weeks into the new year. However, I do believe that goal setting has been extraordinarily important for my development and my growth. And I know that every time that I'm entering into a new year or entering into a new season, knowing my aim is key for me to get that progress that I truly want. Now this year, my friend, is a very special year for all of us because we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. And we've already gone out and we've declared our goals quite loud. They are bold and they are very ambitious. We are going to enroll 50,000 new partners during this year, and we will hit the magical number of 1 million customers. So we are truly ready for some massive growth. You've probably already seen the theme for this year, which is Vision 25. And the reason why we decided that the theme was going to be Vision 25 is, first of all, because of the goal that I already kind of announced, right? That you now know by now, but also because as we are here during this year, if we look into the future, 25 years into the future, well, we will be at 100 million customers. Now, this is the big target that we're steering every decision and action towards. Now, we genuinely believe that guest-based nutrition is in the past and that test-based nutrition is the future. And if we're then breaking down the numbers, since the average that we're always working towards with every partner in Zinzino is 25 customers, well, when we're there in 2050, that means that we will have 4 million partners globally working together with us, having the massive chance, you know, to transform their life, building a legacy business together with maybe you and your team and our incredible company. So you've probably heard us say quite often that we got to strengthen our recruiting So the upcoming years, we're probably going to say, well, next year we're going for 100,000 partners, 200,000 partners, 500,000 partners. But if I'm analyzing the numbers, looking back into 2024, well, our peak month was November, and we passed 5,000 partners in November. So we do believe that 50,000 partners, new partners during the upcoming year, the next 12 months, is going to be realistic. It's a stretch. We got to do the work. We got to really be focused on making it happen. But 50,000 partners as well as 1 million customers will be ours if we just follow the strategy. Now, it's said that by studying the past, you can predict the future. And you know, when I look back 25 years and I look ahead to 25 years, I get very confident about where we are going. Because when I look back 25 years, there is so many different things that didn't exist 25 years ago that we today just take for granted. Now, let me give you a short list. My electric car, it didn't exist 25 years ago. Actually, the majority of every car brand didn't exist 25 years ago. In Norway, we've kind of been in the forefront of this because in 91, there was this company named Think in Norway that started this electric car brand. And, well, it wasn't necessarily beautiful. You probably wouldn't even consider getting into it today. But they were innovators, you know, they were very early starting on with this particular trend. Now, for some of you, maybe it's difficult to get this specific trend the way a Norwegian would get it. Because maybe in your country, well, you don't have a lot of electric cars. But in Norway, where I live, well, in August last year, 94% of all cars sold, actually that specific month, was fully electric. Now, the last 6%, well, 5% was some kind of a hybrid, and the last 1% was probably a combination of like sports cars and trucks, something like that. But in Norway, nobody's questioning whether the future is electric. We're already living it. And if you've studied Norway as a country, it's not necessarily the perfect country for electric cars. High mountains, seasons of lots of snow, very cold, long distances. But still, this is our reality. I remember a few months back, Orion was studying a brand from US who does 807 kilometers in range on their launch model. And you know, when an unknown US electric car brand does 807 kilometers in range, there is probably a guy named Elon Musk that would say, then I'm going to do 1800 at least on mine. And if you were to say that, it's a pretty good chance that it would happen. So the future, my friend, is electric. Now, 25 years ago, the smartphone didn't exist. Social media didn't exist. Zinzino did not exist 25 years ago. Zoom, that I use so many hours on every single day, it did not exist. A lot of people would think it was going to be, that would be like science fiction. I remember actually I met this guy who was an online developer of a video platform similar to Zoom many years back, and he was so passionately trying to explain to me that this was going to be the reality. And I really tried my best to be polite and listen very carefully, but I have to admit that in my mind I just thought this guy was crazy. And here I am, standing in front of you, having this live stream, thousands of people watching. You know, LED light, basically everything that is lighting up my house, my office today, well, it first became popular in 2008. Netflix, it was invented, but it was mainly an idea. It wasn't really something that people used yet. Smart TV, Spotify, all of these things that we take for granted, it did not exist. So during the last 25 years, there's been an absolute revolution, which basically means that we're living in this fictional world compared to how the everyday person would probably think would be the reality looking forward. And that's why I really do believe that 25 years from now, nobody will shop food and nutrition exactly the way that people do today. Everything will be documented, everything will be tested, and there is no way that people would just go around and accept that their body won't get exactly what it needs to be healthy, live longer, and perform well. I know that this trend is still quite young, but 25 years, my friend, it's a very long time. And there is, again, no way that people don't know their scores on the tests that we're currently offering 25 years in the future. And that, my friend, is why I so strongly believe that the nutrition industry is going to grow to become $1 trillion industry. And the omega-3 industry is going to grow to at least 200 billion. These are, well, let's call them factual visions. Something that is going to be 100% for real. So even though some laggard doesn't get it, or some young kid's mom who's born 5 years from now, who turns 20 into 2050, doesn't get it, well, his AI assistant is going to get it. And probably will say, your mom is lovely, but she doesn't necessarily have the latest knowledge when it comes to this particular area. Love her, care for her, be kind to her, but don't listen to her. Get tested. That is the very best thing you can do for your health. 25 years ago, AI didn't exist, at least not in my world. But like it or hate it, 25 years into the future, there is a pretty good chance that you will make a lot of your decisions together with your AI assistant. Now, things are growing in such a rapid pace. And I know that sometimes, you know, when we talk about all of these things that are happening, it's easy to be skeptical because things can feel so unfamiliar. It can feel so surreal. But every time that I catch myself thinking that, I also have to remind myself that the way I live today is surreal compared to how I lived my life 25 years ago. And I can't accept to live in the past without growing together with the future. And what is 100% true is that technology is going to dominate the future, and test-based nutrition is going to take over the nutritional industry. The question is, who will be the brand? In every new trend that is being developed, there is always a brand that owns 20% of the market. Apple is the brand of smartphone. Facebook is the brand of social media. Netflix is the brand for entertainment. Zoom is the brand for conference meetings online. Tesla is the brand for electric car. And there will be a brand who will take 20% of the ownership of the $1 trillion nutritional industry, or the $200 billion omega-3 industry in 2050. Now, when I think about these numbers, they are so huge, right? And I also get reminded about our goal, like 100 million customers. That would mean that we are producing a turnover of around $40 billion. And when I think about these other large numbers, I think maybe we've set the bar too low for ourselves, right? Maybe we should stretch it. Now, maybe it's going to take us longer time. Maybe we can do it much faster. Maybe we underestimate our power, but the point is this, my friend, it will happen. The question is, who will be the brand and what are you going to do about it? So as we are here at the start of this year, I again want to remind you, start with the end in mind. Clarify your expectations. Make your goals for this year. Maybe you want to check out some of the goal setting videos that we've already done, that is already available in the playlist. Maybe you want to look at the goal setting paper that has already been sent out by the company. I really recommend you to run through that, to take some time and really have that pen meet the paper and write your goals down. Now, what are the top 3 things that you wish to accomplish long term by doing Zinzino? What are the top 10 things that you want to check off on your list during this particular year? Maybe what is the most important target is a good question. I think it's important to have a clear focus on what is the most important target. You also want to define your inner circle. Now, these are the top 5 people that you truly see have that hunger, that you can see yourself duplicate into, that you want to stretch to help to really accomplish their goals during this particular year. And then you want to look at some numbers. You want to decide upon how many personal customers should you bring in during this particular year? How many personal partners should you recruit? What will be your rank by the end of this year? What will be your peak month during this year? And what will be your T balance in terms of customers in your team? And when you have those numbers in place, you want to break it down into quarterly goals, because then it's going to be a lot easier to make the plan. Now, maybe you're here and you're brand new with Zinzino. So what you would like to then do at the start of the year is to launch your business. Work according to the Fast Start program. Get 4 customers, enroll 1 on the left, 1 on the right, partners, right? And then you want to help those 2 get 2, and then you want to go from 4 customers to 10 customers. That should be the aim, right? I do believe that motivation is created by 3 specific factors. Number 1, you got to get clear on your expectations. You got to know why you are doing something. You have to have a goal behind doing what you do. And then secondly, I also do believe that it's important to have a clear instruction, that you know the plan, the strategy that you will get you to your goal. But last but not least, you got to own it. You got to own the responsibility to do the work. So if I go back to the numbers that I just mentioned, well, if we talk about the Fast Start, if we summarize it, it's basically 10 plus 6. 10 customers and 6 partners. So here is an idea. What if you decided to just make sure that it happened on your own, right? Of course, we would like it to duplicate organically from 2 to 4, right? But wouldn't it be better if you just decided, I'm going to make it happen no matter what? One of the principles that I try to teach my children, and especially I remind my son about it every time that he wants to cut short on his homework, and it's the following. We are people who don't just do enough. We do more than enough. So every time when he wants to cut short on his homework, or his homework reads, read this page, do this assignment, and then if you want a challenge, you may read this page in addition, you can do this task as well. Very often he wants to, well, he doesn't want to do it. He wants to cut short, right? He wants to just cut it to a minimum, and then we have to have a conversation about it before he eventually agrees to do it. But here the other day, I was out running some errands. Orion was with the kids, and now Gabriel was helping his sister Sarah with her homework, and she's in 5th grade, and her homework was to write 4 words. And when she was ready, she was very happy with herself, but suddenly Orion heard Gabriel declare out loud, "No, Sarah, in our family, we don't just do enough. We do more than enough. We can't stop at 4 words. We got to do at least 6. So Orion was calling me, he was laughing, as he said, and I was smiling, but I wasn't necessarily surprised, because I do know that what I do and what I repeat over and over again will eventually duplicate. So if I go back to what I just talked about, what if you just decided you're going to just make sure that it happens? You're going to make a plan to make sure that you hit that Fast Start no matter what, that you will hit those 10 customers and 6 partners. Now, maybe you're here and you've been with us for a while and you're looking to relaunch your business. So you just decide the same. You're going to do 10 plus 6. Maybe you will do it in 4 months, but for some of you, I know that you're going to do it in 2 months. But for A lot of you, you're going to say to yourself, I think I'm going to do it in January. And then I know that there is some of you watching that says, 1 month? I can do it in 2 weeks. Watch me do it. Right? The point, however, is that if you put some urgency into your work, suddenly you're going to have a lot of people working together with you. And before you know it, you will be qualified for the executive rank up. You will get the double phone bonus. And because you now have a lot of people working together with you and you're now duplicating fast starts and executives in your team, you're going to climb in ranks. And before you know it, you will be diamond, you will be director, and you will be crowned before the end of this year. Now, some of you might think that this is a bit strange, but one of the things that Orion and myself have always told each other is the following. If we can just get in touch with people who's reached further than us, if we can just have a conversation with them, if we can just ask them some question, if we can just kind of touch their shoulder a little bit, we're given the power and authority to achieve what they have. Now, obviously, as you probably understand, this is a fictional story that we just tell ourselves, but the point is, we believe in it, so for us, it works. Now, the point, my friend, is this. When you find people who inspire you, when you tap into their vision, and when you work on becoming an expert at sharing the vision, well, growth happens. Because when you share the vision, dreams thrive and doubts diminish. And the more doubts that are removed in the process, the more the dream will shine, and the more people around you will start to believe what you believe because you become a vision carrier. And suddenly all of these people around you believe that test-based nutrition will be the future. And hopefully the thoughts that we as a community have around health will be the thoughts that will carry the world in the future. Now the point is this. The growth will happen. The $1 trillion nutritional market, it's going to be true. The big question is this. Who will be the brand? What are you going to do about it? Now, I vote for us as a community, and I do vote for you. Let's together go out and create the most incredible, magical year ever. I pray that you will be blessed beyond your wildest imaginations during this particular year. And hopefully, by you putting in that action, by you gearing up and really aiming high, getting a clear vision for where you're going, well, when December 31st hits and you're all dressed up and you're ready to enter a new year, you're going to look to your spouse or you're going to look to your friend and you're going to say, I am so incredibly happy. This has been the most incredible, successful year of my life.
What year did Zinzino pre-launch the USA?
Wow, keep posting those pictures. It's great to see so many beautiful people from so many different countries.
Exactly. And Jens, we have even more prizes to win.
We do have.
How about few extra boxes of Collagen Boost or joining our director trip to Phuket in Thailand in a couple of months? What a prize!
What a prize! And we might have a couple of more surprises left in the store.
Annual event was just a couple of months ago, but we still have so many new ranks to celebrate.
Yes, we do. And as we are already dressed for the occasion, let's do it with style.
Congratulations to our new directors. Congratulations to our new crowns. From Hungary, Bankoti Gabriela Dorica. From Mexico, Bertha Adelina Viramontes Hernandez. From Singapore, Calissa Desso and Esther Chang. From United States, Casey Tom. From Germany, Charlotte Stegen. From South Africa, Crystal and Kobus DeWitt. From the Czech Republic, Czeslaw Bertos. From the United States, Daniela Lobato. From India, Divine Global Endeavors. From Germany, Doreen Schmidt. From Netherlands, Francisca van den Berg. From Germany, Gitti Shadling. From the Czech Republic, Hanna Siglarova. From Germany, Inga Mastorf Palacio. From the Czech Republic, Ivana Hablova. From Germany, Jonas Hassi. From the United Arab Emirates, Liliana and Francisco Aguiar Nunes. From Lithuania, Lena Gotauskinen. From Austria, Lisa Bachmann. From Mexico, Maria Veronica Villalba Diaz. From Germany, Miriam Rathbar and Clemens Bowman. From Germany, Natalie Bernicker. From Mexico, Paco Hernandez. From Denmark, Peter Hall. From Czech Republic, Rostislav Drnovsky. From the United Kingdom, Ruth Monroe. From Lithuania, Simona and Ignas Bakje. From India, Sunil Sharma. From Norway, Tore Akre. From Taiwan, Chun Chen. From Taiwan, Xuan Sheng Lu. From Taiwan, Xing Wen Wu. Congratulations to our new royal crowns. From Germany, Arnold Oumke. From Germany, Christian Marquardt. From Germany, Clivia Anfeld and Thorsten Siem. From Austria, Gudrun Sagader. From United States, Chen Chun Sayat. From Germany, Catherine and Thomas Eidenberg. From Germany, Melanie Haff-Richter. From Spain, Mora Sarasa. From Mexico, Natural Cell Health. From Germany, Paraskivi Patsia. From India, Shelly Kapoor. From India, Srinivas Parashura. From Germany, Ulrich Schapke. Congratulations to our new black crowns. From the United States, Angela Lewandowski. From Switzerland, Jeanette and Gerhard Rehusser. From the United States, Carla Muska. From Germany, Lars Kushia. From Ecuador, Miguel Jaramillo. From the United States, Sasha Heen. From Taiwan, Ai Chiwu. Congratulations to our new ambassadors. From Germany, Angela and Rainer Bobson. From Lithuania, Gentadas Galiz. From Poland, Marcin Bohorczak. From Dominican Republic, Marissa Mach. From India, Sadish Shetty. Congratulations to our new royal ambassadors. From Germany, Daniela Marquardt. From Mexico, Janeth Gomez. From Taiwan, Jia Rungsai. From the United States, Stacy Whitaker and Arthur Napolitano. From Poland, Zbigniew Fatka. Congratulations to our new Black ambassadors. From Czech Republic, Adam Skoda. From Austria, Zina Brizvi. Congratulations to our new president. From Norway, Jens Ove Johannesson. He is a guiding presence, always ready to inspire and uplift those around him. With unwavering dedication and a commitment to helping others succeed, he embodies the spirit of Zinzino. Congratulations to our new elite president. From Lithuania, Andrew Ogalis. He sees Zinzino as a caring, loving home with dedicated people. Known for his kindness and commitment, we proudly celebrate him. From Switzerland, Audrey and Sven Goebel. They lead with dedication and vision and drive global progress by empowering individuals to lead healthier, more independent lives. From United Kingdom, Marco Passanante. His leadership is defined by deep passion and purpose. He inspires those around him with infectious energy and makes a lasting difference through his actions and dedication. From Norway, Vibeke Steinsvik Parr. With unwavering determination and deep kindness, she creates opportunities and grows success. As a nurturing leader, she guides her team to excel, cherishing each member's powers. Congratulations to our new global president. From Hungary, Ria Kamresh. Her visionary, heartfelt leadership inspires success, nurturing a team environment that thrives on ambition and collective achievement. Congratulations to our new 5-star global presidents. From Norway, Hildy and Arian Sale.
Huge congratulations to all of you that ranked up throughout 2024. I'm so grateful, so happy on your own behalf, but also at Zinzino's behalf. You truly make the difference. Thank you!
A big congratulations to all of our rank achievers, and especially congratulations to those of you who hit Diamond Director Crown, Royal Crown, Black Crown, Ambassador, Royal Ambassador, Black Ambassador, President, Elite President, and Global President. That is a long list.
That is amazing, and we love you, and we're so grateful for all the effort that you put in, and it's so rewarding to get results as well. We're so proud of you. We appreciate you. And remember that this is the first step on an amazing journey to come.
Thank you so much for all of the hard work, everything that you do. We're so grateful to have you with us on this mission. We can't wait to conquer the world together in 2025.
Please stay tuned. Remember to post your pictures. The most creative pictures will be rewarded.
So how do you know you're at the right place? Number one, they've been around 19 years. To me, I'm not going with a startup. This is important. I'm not being part of someone else's experiment. I had offers, I had opportunities. I said no. Zinzino, proven products, you all proved it. I said, could people really take the test? Now 1.5 million people, of course, have taken the test. We know what happens when they're on it for 4 months. Is there people proven with earnings? I just looked at the income chart and said, look at the money the people are making here. I don't have to be the guy to prove it. I just have to learn what the people down here in the front know and learn how to teach what they teach and just keep the desire, keep the hunger. And then everything we looked at, I realized this was the one company out of everyone I looked at that was best prepared to become a multi-billion-dollar brand. Everything in my heart knows, everything in my mind knows that you are part of a company that will be a multi-billion-dollar brand. $1 billion would not do this company good service. We have too much more to do worldwide. You need to know that. And if you ever think of stopping, you will be watching this company do it without you. You need to understand it. See, Zinzino had this statement that I just related to, inspire change in life. And I know we talk about impact. Well, that statement impacted my life. I looked at that statement and said, that's what happened to me because of network marketing. Network marketing put me in a room full of people like this that inspired me to be more, do more, change, address the things where I was weak, learn how to become a leader. What value have you placed on Zinzino? And whatever it was before this weekend, you need to raise the bar. Do you have a clarity of why you're doing this? For your family, the clothing for your kids, better vacation, get away from the job you hate. Where do you see yourself in this structure? And don't let anybody convince you that you can't be at the top. See, Zinzino is about inspiring change in people's lives, whether it's to take nutrition, to change their health, or it's to change them in the direction of their financial future so they can live a better life.
Success doesn't come from one single moment, but it's the daily repeated actions what you are taking. There are no lucky, no talented people. The only difference between the successful and the not successful ones, that they are doing the same thing consistently. Think of a long term, but break it down to your daily small steps. You gotta be in the bloodstream, you gotta come to events, you gotta work on your business, you gotta do the recruiting, the presentations, the follow-ups. Because as a sportsman, I can relate to that. If you're not doing it for a few days, you're getting out of the rhythm, and you gotta stay in the rhythm. That's why you gotta work every single day in your Zinzino business. Consistency is a bridge between success. There were never ever no overnight successes, but the difference between the two kind of people who are succeeding and not, that the one who's succeeding, who is going to the swimming pool or going to the presentations when it's raining outside, when it's cold outside, when you feel bad, when you have a headache, when you don't really want to be there, but you're going there. And one of the biggest, most famous coaches, Sir Alex Ferguson, said that he has seen many talents in life, so many talented kids playing football, soccer. But the most successful ones will be the ones who are training, preparing consistently, even when there are no cameras inside the gym. That makes someone the best of the best.
Sometimes there will be a price to pay. If you want to read something extraordinary, there will be a price to pay. And be willing sometimes to pay that price, because it's worth it. If you're just doing a little bit extra, so many things, people here up here has been talking about one more, doing a little bit extra. But just be aware, sometimes you cannot attend everything. Maybe you need to skip some of it because you want to read something extraordinary. So when you get that belief inside of you that I got back in 2007, then it's never a question about stopping or quitting or anything else. So basically for me, that belief was our 5th child that was born in Brazil. Because today, I still feel Zinzino as our fifth child, because this is something that we are doing as a family. This is something we care for. If you start something and you stop again, you're gonna hurt so many people in your family. So that's why you need to continue doing this. You need to find a passion. Find that passion that is for you, so you can go out and continue doing the small steps. Because if we do this together, we're gonna change so many people's lives. We're gonna change so many people in India, their life, because we give them hope. But we not only give them hope, we stick with them for the rest of our life and build this journey together.
Because it is vital to create success stories in duplication. And so we celebrate every step. We celebrate, you have a new customer, yeah, I'm so proud of you. We have a new bronze, wow. We must celebrate every position together as a team. And then the new from the new, look at the new partner and say, wow, what they can do, I can do. And this is, we must go the way with the new partners, hand in hand. And this is what I love most. And what I see here during the recognition, during the last 3 days, I cry, I laugh. And I think everybody here in the room feel the energy of Zinzino, feel this, we are coming home, we are a family. And I love this. We are going now in the next level. We are like a giant. We are like a sleeping giant. Now we will go in the next countries. We will have a we have a mind-blowing system. Because all the ingredients, what we have with the product, with the test, with the corporate, with the company and so on, is really the best of the best. And you know this, believe in yourself. Everybody here in this room have the same journey. Nobody was born as a perfect networker. What we are doing is we're helping people with health and we're helping people with wealth. And this is so wonderful to see if the people are growing and growing.
I was trying to figure out what are the most important qualities that leadership needs. So if you want to be a leader, you chose to be a leader. That's why you are here today. Courage. Without courage, we never start. We never go out and do stuff. And we need courage for everything, for every step of the way. And back to the childhood. Is it possible that somebody took charge of you, then somebody had a better plan for you, and somebody was using their courage so that you grow? And you got used to that before you even remember. So why don't we all together take back that to us? Each and every one of us. We take charge. We are going to be here the next year with 2 friends. Can you decide on that? Yes? That's going to be amazing. You got to plan it, because maybe you're going to pay the ticket for the friend on the left and the friend on the right. It's possible that they haven't planned their life and they have no clue how to do that. So you plan for them, just like parents for the kids. So courage is not absence of fear. Courage is when you act in spite of fear.
Life is too short not to live it on your own terms. And life is too short not to fight for this life that you really desire. And most people out there, just like him, they don't mean it in a bad way. They just don't have the awareness that nowadays it is possible to build an own online business. Nowadays it is possible to build a passive income. Nowadays it is possible to really create the dream life that you really desire. And it's on us that we inspire them and give them the awareness that nowadays we have these possibilities in our life. You made the commitment, otherwise you wouldn't be here at the event. And yes, maybe you have the same insecurities, doubts and fears that I had. Maybe you also had a bad start, like I had. Or maybe your business had been stagnating over the last months. But you know that you only got two options in life, my friend. You only got two options. Staying in the 9 to 5, seeing your life being lived, or trying as long as it takes, so at the end of the life, you will be able to say, yes, I lived my life. And deep down in your heart, you can feel that you got the potential to build a successful business here. You got this option of taking one more shot, one more contact, one more invitation, one more presentation. And if you do this and implement these 3 Ps, I'm pretty sure it won't take long until I'll be sitting in the audience, watching you on the stage, sharing your story, providing value for thousands of other people, and inspire also them to change their life, because we all know life is too short and too worthwhile not to.
It takes a lot of people to grow a company this successful over the years.
That's so true, Katarina. And now, take a look at this.
Hi everyone, my name is Sofia Johansson and I have the privilege to be the CEO of Zinzino the first couple of years. I have some fantastic memories of those days. Even if the road sometimes was bumpy in the beginning, I would admit that. It was thanks to your hard work and dedication in the network that the company has grown to something truly fantastic. I'm very proud to be a small part of its journey. And I just want to say, keep up the good work and big congratulations to the 20th anniversary. All love from me. Bye bye.
20 years ago, Hilde and Orion, 2 persons coming from Norway, came to visit us in Belgium to ask us to buy some coffee machine and to send it back to the Nordic and Baltic. It was at this time a very small company, a startup. And now, look at it. 20 years later, it became an exceptional and extremely successful company, present all over the world. I would like to thank Orion and Hill for the very good partnership and also all the Zinzino team. Very good anniversary that we will celebrate together, but very important, let's work now on the 20 next year. Score.
Happy 20th birthday, Zinzino! Hilda and Orion, we are so proud of you guys. We are so thankful that you've been such a big blessing to Orion and me, and we just know you've been a blessing to so many people.
They say leaders create culture and culture creates results. And because you have great leaders with great character, that culture has spread throughout the whole Zinzino organization. Love you guys. Happy birthday!
My, how big you are. I remember when you were only this tall. Hey, Zinzino, happy birthday. Happy anniversary, 20 years, amazing. I remember from the very start, the dream, Orion and Hilda, your leadership throughout all that time, your vision, your dream, and where you guys are today. I mean, it's nothing short of amazing. So I just wanted to say congratulations. Love it. Wish you guys 20 years more. Peace.
Dear friends at Zinzino, congratulations with a 20-year anniversary. The old book says that you should never despise the days of a small beginning. And we've seen that the small beginnings of this company is now evolving to grow into the vision that you have foreseen for so many years. Congratulations to your leaders, Orion and Hilda, and all the teams surrounding them. This is a team effort that makes this dream work. So congratulations on the 20-year anniversary, and the best is yet to come.
Well, Jens, we are about to wrap this up. Any final words?
Well, thanks, Katarina, but I think everything has been said already.
You are right, but let me say like this. I'm so grateful and proud to have been here for the last 20 years. It has been quite a ride, but it has been worth every bit of it. And I'm so looking forward to see what the future brings.
I do agree 100%. I'm not saying that those 20 years have been easy, but it's been so worth it. Now, let's go for the next 25 years and 100 million customers. And to end this event, I have the honor of introducing one of my best friends and founder of Zinzino and a 5-star global president, Örjan Sala.
Du sa 7 grader. Du ljög till mig. Du sa det blir 7 grader på tisdag. Det här är inte 7 grader. I gotta jump up to something here. It is cold. This will hold. Kappa. This is the coldest we've done. I like the one that we did from the Maldives better when we were in that hot, nice water, learning to like kind of, what was that called again? That ski thing on the water, like a surfboard on the water. It was really cool. It was warm. This is cold. I can't believe it. I think looking at my life, I must say that one thing that I've discovered is that I'm driven by the future. I'm driven by what is to come. But when you're driven by that and you're going into the future and you cast that vision, you don't know where you're going to end up. So today we're going to hike up this trail here. We've not done this before. I've not been up there. Maybe we get to a mountain top. Maybe we get to a river. Maybe we get stopped. Well, there is blue marks, so I think we will be fine. But the subject is Vision 25. So we're celebrating 20 years and we're casting a vision for the next 25 years. And I want to talk a little bit about vision because I've been driven by that throughout my entire career. And I remember back, I'd been in direct selling for 4 years at that point. It was 1996. I was just getting my first success, just getting to where I was making $10,000 a month. I could fly everywhere. Well, back then flights were cheap. And I could go everywhere, and I had that ambition of wanting to do something just extraordinary. Now, one of the things that I discovered was that the profession I picked wasn't that popular. Network marketing was challenged. Today, it's a little bit better, but it's still challenged. But the vision that I cast back in 1996 was that I wanted to be and play a pivotal role in making network marketing both known, while it is a little bit more known, and I wanted to make it recognized. I wanted it to be a profession that we could be proud of. I wanted it to be somewhere where the kids that are growing up would say, I want to do what you're doing. And it's been a journey, and I think that we've made some progress on that journey. I think that actually we've gotten pretty far, but there is still a lot to do. And my dream about the next 25 years is that we will actually achieve this. Now, it took some time, and we had kind of like this amazing start. We got to a lot of income at a fairly young age. We built some tremendous teams. And then, as any hike would have it, there is some ups and downs. And we took some downs, and back in 2003, we broke out from the company where we were, and it followed with a lot of challenges. But then, in 2005, after Hilda looked me in my eyes, when I wanted to kind of give up, I was kind of had enough of it, she looked me in the eyes and she said, no, we're people that finish what we started. And in 2005, I cast a new vision. I wanted to re-innovate network marketing. And this, I think, is a major part of making network marketing recognized. Because with Zinzino, we decided to do something that has never been done before. We put the customer in center. We wanted to be the company that is the most customer-friendly direct selling company in the world. We wanted to be led and driven by being a sales organization that put the customers into focus. Now we kicked off, and if you know the story, you know that we started out as a coffee company. And I think it's amazing. I love the coffee. I just had one this morning. That's why I have so much energy. Even though it's kind of cold in here, I wish I could put on the gloves and hat. Well, I could have done that, but I wanted to also be representable here for a kickoff in January 25. Now, you know, a vision is not only one vision. It's one vision leading you to the next vision that leads you to the next vision. And to really be able to re-innovate direct selling or network marketing, we needed to have a product that could bring us across the globe. And in 2012, after going through a long struggle with my intestinal issues, I was introduced to the balance test and the balance oil. Well, it wasn't named that back then, but it was a product that just completely changed my life. It was a test that completely opened my eyes to think about things in a different way. And we cast a new vision, or we cast a little slogan first, and then it developed into a vision, and that was that we would move the nutritional profession from guest-based to test-based, and we would be the leading company in this area. And that's exciting, because when something goes from being guest-based, and you're a small, nutrition is a fairly small area in, or not area, but profession or industry when it comes to sales. But when it goes to test-based, I think that in the next 25 years, we're going to see it go up 500 times, not 500, 500%, from $200 billion US dollars to $1 trillion industry. That's exciting. Well, actually, this is what I think about when we talk about that, is that what if we could take and capture maybe a few percentages of that market? Maybe we could capture 20%. Well, that would be a lot. That would be like 200 billion. It might be possible, but what if we at least could capture 20% of the 20%? Because I think that omega-3s and being in balance will be about 20% of those 200 billion, counting for omega-3s would be about 20% of that trillion, counting for 200 billion. And if we took 20% of that, that would put us in 2050 at 40 billion US dollars. It's a big vision. But I think that when you innovate something and you're the one leading to the change, you can actually take a 20% market share, and we're actually only asking about 20% out of the 20%. Now, one more thing that needed to happen was that what we're doing needed to be in a different way. So we're representing nutrition as a service, meaning that everyone gets on a subscription, And I've said to some people sometimes that I really don't want people to only buy Zinzino once, like buy one balanced oil. I don't want people to do that because they actually ruin our brand. I mean, if people spend 25 or 30 or 40 years messing up their life, sometimes 70 years, and they're gonna think that they will have a result by buying once, that's an illusion. They gotta take a test, they gotta take the product every month, and then they gotta take a test again, and then they gotta live in balance for a while. And maybe at that point, we will be able to help them. Maybe at that point, they get a change in their life so worthy that they will talk to everyone else about it. And that's why we wanted this subscription-based business. Now, let me bring you until today. We've been 20 years in a marketplace. We've done some amazing results. 2024 was just this extraordinary year. It was like, wow, I feel so energetic that I could climb a tree, but I probably shouldn't try to climb this tree. That would be fun if I could climb it. But it's been like the year that I really feel that the breakthrough is happening. It's been like a long preparation for something huge to come. And what I think will be happening over the 25 next years is that we'll take on the biggest task ever. And that is that crowd science will be the future of science. Because really what we do when we do a balance test, when we do a vitamin D test, when we do a long-term blood sugar test, in the future when we launch a gut test, when we launch a brain test, when we launch a patch that we put on your arm that measures a lot of things, when we hook you up to the watch, I didn't have my Apple Watch on here, when you got a chip under your ring. So we read all of these biometrics. When that's happening, when we're testing and we're doing all of these different things, we get information, we get data on how health is impacted by the lifestyle, by the food that they eat, and by the nutrition that they take. And when that's analyzed, I think that we will be able to predict better than anybody else what you need to do to live a healthy life. And at that point, crowd science, let's see how far it can go, would maybe replace science, or at least be a pivotal part of science. Or maybe even it becomes the new science. We end up reinventing science in the next 25 years. Now, vision is where it starts. You gotta have a big vision or you will not get anywhere. But vision is not everything. It needs to be matched up with a product. Like, as I told you in the beginning, yes, I'm driven by the future. I'm driven by the idea that if you believe in the future, you will actually own the future. Now, I'm also a geek. I'm a nerd. I'm one of those that goes into things. I want to find out, I want to develop. And I think that when it comes to our product line, the number one thing that I think is important is that we're not going to compete with others. We're going to innovate. And there are so many out there that try to build their business on just competing with others. They say, oh, this company over here is doing something good. Over here they're doing that. Over here they're doing that. If we take what's best selling for them, then maybe we can do well. I think that is, well, it's okay for them, but it's not for us. We want to make true innovations. Sometimes we'll acquire the company. Sometimes, yes, we'll look at what's trending, and then we'll take that and then we'll put our own minds to it, and we'll create something completely new in the middle of that, and create something that is an innovation, something that changes people's life and something that pushes society forward. So when we then have the product, let's look at the balanced oil, or we could look at Synbiotic or Extend or brand new collagen product. Doesn't matter which one of them we look at. When we've developed it, we practice the Apple model. So what's the Apple model? You know, I've got here in my pocket, I've got my phone. This is an iPhone 16. So here is my son on iPhone 16. Now, the iPhone 16 wasn't the start of the Apple phone. Well, I think it started with the Apple II, then came the Apple III or iPhone 3, then came the 3 that I actually bought, then came the 4, I got that one, then came the 5, then the 6. So it changed a little bit over time, but the most important thing is that we can still recognize it, but it has improved its inside. And over the next 25 years, what you will see with all of our different products is that the outside kind of stays the same, but the inside will constantly be upgraded. Because if we want your outside to kind of stay the same, we need your inside to be upgraded all the time. Look at my hands there. I think it's like -7 today. But it's good to be in the middle of the forest here, because nature and the future of this world is also something that is important to Zinzino. It's important to me, it's important to our leadership, it's important to Hilda, it's important to everyone. So over the next 25 years, and I think it's actually going to be some big launches later on this year, even in that area, is to make what we do sustainable. We want to become the company that has the most sustainable profile for the future. We're dealing with fish oil. I think in the product world, we got to, at one point, move from algae to omega. What do I mean by that? Maybe we could do some innovations where we will be able to create everything from scratch. Maybe we will be able to use the algae that are in the ocean, where we can extract the omegas, and then we can take the leftovers, and from the leftovers maybe we create the paper. So instead of cutting down the trees, we could be creating papers from that. Maybe we could create the ink from it. Maybe we could create the bottling from it. Who knows where the future leads us, but it's a big mission for us to become a completely sustainable company. Now, as these things are important to us, I do think that, I gotta jump up to something here. It is cold. This is the coldest we've done. I like the one that we did from the Maldives better, when we were in that hot night's water, learning to like kind of, what was that called again? That ski thing on the water, like a surfboard on the water. It was really cool. It was warm. This is cold. I can't believe it. But we will never miss. We will never let our eyes be taken away from that we are a test base. So we test, we track, and in the future we involve TAC. And the mega trend of test-based nutrition is going to happen. We're going to take the guesswork out of living, and we're going to make it test-based. We're going to make it reliable. We're going to make it so that people that becomes a Zinzino customer, well, they will have a nutrition system for their life that is beyond what anybody else out there can give them. Now, 2025 is an important year, because inside of the profession of network marketing and direct selling, something very fundamental is about to happen. So we've been these crazy people with the crazy ideas of these tests, you know. I wish I had a balanced test now, but I had to limit the things that I was going to carry with me. But we've been the geeks, the innovators, the people that believe in stuff. The people say, why are you doing that? Nobody has done that before. That's not necessary. And especially in our profession, we've been ridiculed. But right now, if you look at new companies in direct selling starting, a lot of them want to be test-based. If you look at old companies that are kind of losing ground to us, losing ground in general, they want to be test-based. So we're no longer in the innovation phase. We've crossed the 2.5%, and we're moving into trend setting. So 2025 will be faster than ever before, and that's why we have a massive focus on enrolling new partners into the team, because that's where we create the sales. Right now, that's creating sales with having new partners coming in. They get their 4, they get their 10, they get their 25. That's 2025. Now, if you look a little bit more ahead, and by the way, we are going to reach 1 million customers this year, and that's going to feel so good. When we finish this year, we're going to be jumping up and down and say, yeah, we did it, we got to 1 million. Maybe we could even pass 1 million, who knows? If we do this really well, it can be incredible. But by 2035, we're going to be where society in general, that this idea of test-based is no longer a crazy idea. It actually becomes, not mainstream, but it becomes trend-setting all throughout society for the general population. And that means that it's going to be very likely that we can get to 20 million customers by 2035. And by 2050, that's when all across every part of society, test-based nutrition will become what I call mainstream. It will become something that everyone is doing, and the crazy ones are the ones that are not tested. The crazy ones. I actually told this to some of my best friends here the other day. They were at my home. They actually took my son out for the day and had some fun, and took him to the Technical Museum of Norway, and they had a great fun together. But when they came back, I gave them all our 3 tests that we currently have. And I gave it to them, and I said something very important. You need to score perfect on all of these 3 tests. If you don't score perfect on these 3 tests, you're going to get in trouble with your health, because they're my age. I'm 49 right now, turning 50 next year. And at that point, you can't not make sure that you have the vitamin D, that you don't have elevated blood sugar, and you need to stay in balance. Because yes, bad things can still happen, but if you don't take charge of your health and you don't know, then, well, bad things are more likely to happen. And that's what we want to avoid. And that's why test-based nutrition is going to take over the world. And boy, do I look forward to 2050. I got to run into it, kind of, because in 2050, you know, everyone is going to be doing this, and we're going to have 100 million customers taking our products every single day. And maybe it's even going to be more than that. To get to this big company, you know, that changes the world, that changes the status quo, that becomes known by everyone, just like Apple, just like Tesla, just like everything. So the first one was vision. You got to set out and you got to know where you're going. The second one is that you got to have a product that has the potential of becoming the Netflix of nutrition. Something that can take the world, and people all across the world has the same benefit, and the benefit is huge enough to tell somebody else about it. And we've got that in Zinzino. But this alone is not enough. There got to be a management, got to be somebody executing on it. It got to be some philosophy behind it. And honestly, this is the area where I've had to grow the most in. And this is also why I'm actually not in the management. Hilda and I, we are owners in the company. We're the largest shareholders of the company, but we serve as 5-star global presidents in the organization of the sales force, not having a board position, not having a position in the management team, even though we work very closely with them. Now, the philosophy is based on the Scandinavian vision, or the Scandinavian ideas, where you can be global and you act local at the same time. Growing up in Norway, we're 5.6, 5.7 million people. We know that we're not the center of the universe. Well, actually, sometimes we don't know, but when we look out and we travel, we understand that these woods of Norway is not where everything is happening. There is billions of people on the planet. There is 8 billion on the planet. We're very few, and we got to think global. But then as we get into another country, when we get into another market, we got to act local at the same time. Our CEO, Doug, dear friend. We've been working together now for so long. It's in Zinzino since 2011, but we've known each other back into, I think it was 2000 or 2001 that we became friends. He's got this incredible sharp mind where his idea is very simple. It's Kaizen, continuous improvement. It's not about a destination. It's like this walk. It's like the hike. You got to improve on the journey, because if you don't improve on the journey, you're not going to be able to become the best, because you can't expect to start out small and be the best. You got to expect to start out small, grow, improve, and then one day you can become the best. He also says that for the people working on his team, it's either that you move up or you got to move yourself to the side, take a different position, take a different role, because we cannot, the leaders, the owners, the management cannot become the ones that blocks the growth of the organization. At the core of all of this sits integrity. The truth is good enough, otherwise you've got nothing. So that's also a little bit what we stand for, and it shocks some people sometimes, is that we're so open, we're so transparent, we publish everything every month since we're public, but also when we have problems, we will just tell people the way it is, because if we don't, we've got nothing. If we try to hide something, that doesn't help us. So we truly believe that people are adult enough to handle the truth, and those that aren't, they aren't supposed to be with us on the complete journey anyways. So we believe strongly in those values that we have. Now, the core task that we have at the Zinzino corporate these days is really to build the infrastructure, to build the IT systems, to build support systems, to build the product, the manufacturing, to build all of those things that we need as an infrastructure. And then lastly, we need to be able to become the leader of our industries. I was mentioning earlier going from algae to omegas. And this is a big thing in everything that we do, because if we grow and let's say that we get to 1 million customers next year, which we will, but then we grow to 2 million, 5 million, all of a sudden the resource of having all the necessary raw material becomes very important. And it might be a challenge to have enough of what we sell to people. And that's why over the next few years you will see us invest heavily into technology, into companies that will be able to dominate the future of the production, or what I would say would be omegas, the future of production in some of the other raw materials that we use as well. Because if we can own the industry that delivers the raw material to the products that we, through test-based nutrition, dominate the future of nutrition, we can really win. I would say that if we can build the infrastructure for the future of Omega, it's actually going to be quite easy to reach 100 million customers in the future, because everyone else that wants to do the same, they actually have to go through us to get access to the raw material. So these are some big tasks that we need to solve, and we're working on them all the time. Now, we've talked about vision, we've talked about products, we've talked about management, and now it comes to the team, the Zinzino team, Team Zinzino, the partners in the field. And I think that at the core of this, well, culture eats strategy for breakfast every single day. I think that this is good to feel the sun hitting my neck right now. We needed a moment of sun here. When you join us on this journey, you will understand that we're an ambitious and inspiring community where we challenge you to become the best. We challenge you to become the better version of you. We challenge you to become healthier. We challenge you to become wiser. We challenge you to become a better father. Challenge me to become a better husband. Challenge you to become a better wife. We challenge you to become a better mother. We challenge people to become better in every area of their life. That is what we do because we're ambitious and we're inspiring at the same time. Then we challenge you to go beyond what you have ever done before. And this forms that culture. It's a very inclusive culture. It's where everyone is on their journey. Everyone takes their path. Everyone has their challenges, and we're there to help you overcome what you're challenged with. We're there to help you get your next step. We're there to support you on what your ambition and your dream is. And then when you reach it, we will be right there with you, celebrate you, and then we will challenge you again, because we always continue moving. I think at the center of everything, it's about being hungry. Because if you're hungry, you're willing to learn. When you're hungry, you're willing to change. When you're hungry, you will adapt the skills that is necessary for you to go all the way. Now, when it comes to the practical things of things, we need to have a system and automation for duplication, where we're able to do not just what we do, but we need to do it in generations in depth. So that system is both online and it's offline. It's taught throughout our web pages, through the Express Start, and throughout the organization. And as you grow and as we grow, we will recognize your effort. Some people put everything in and they can't get the results. We recognize that effort because we know that when you keep on putting everything in, at one point you will also have your breakthrough. And when people get their breakthrough, we're there to celebrate, to jump up and say, yes, you did it, and celebrate the results and recognize the results that people are achieving. And in this way, we think that we continue to build the hunger inside of people. And as the hunger grows, you become better and you're willing to go into personal growth and professional growth and one day become the very best that you can be. And when you're the best that you can be, there is an impact that goes beyond you. It's a ripple effect. It's something like that doesn't stop. It keeps on going through levels of the organization, throughout your community, throughout your country, and to thousands, and then maybe in your team one day in the future, millions of customers in your team that got their life changed because you decided to be the best that you could be. We're getting into the woods here. I don't know if we will actually get to a mountain peak here. I hope we will. And I've just got one last thing that I want to cover. And that is that I want to cover the compensation plan, the structure that you get paid in. A healthy society has a strong middle class. You know, there is many different societies out there, but what Scandinavia is known for is that we have a strong middle class. In fact, we basically only have a middle class because that is the values that we represent, where we want to take care of everyone. And in a compensation plan, we've brought in that same philosophy. Yes, there is the beginners, it's the ones that are getting started, and we have the Fast Start program for them. And that takes well care of them. But then there is the leader in the middle, and the leader in the middle needs to be able to make money. They need to be able to make enough money to go full time so that they can take care of their city, take care of 3 cities around them, make sure that the online system is working, and maybe one day they can grow into a top leader. Yes, there is also money on the top of the Zinzino compensation plan, but it's very much so that the most that we spend is in the middle. So maybe the comparison would be that, yes, there are some companies that are strong, they're direct sales only, and you make more than when you sell a product. Then there are some companies that are like high flying. Those are the ones that everyone screams and shouts about, where the top leader makes just a ton of money on a very little effort, and that can sound attractive. But if you want to be there for the next 25 years and you want to continue to grow as a company, no, it's the thousands upon thousands of middle-class leaders, those that, I wonder if I can cross this ice here without falling through. This kind of breaking me off in the middle here. Let's try that. Okay. Will it hold? I don't know if this will hold. Ah, no, it didn't hold. But that's okay. But the most important is the ones that are making the 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 a month. And of course, over time, that will be adjusted by inflation. And it's a little bit different from one market to another market. That is the leader. You are the one that makes the biggest difference. And that's the people that Zinzino specifically has customized their compensation plan to take care of. Another philosophy that is very core at what we do, and that is that we got to continuously improve it. It's back to Dog's Kaizen. The compensation plan, if you do no changes, you will be out of date in 7 years, and in 14 years you will be gone. So what you will notice is that every year we'll do improvement. Every year we'll do upgrades. Every year there will be adjustments. Some you will be happy with, and others you will not be so happy with. But if you embrace them over time, you will see that this is the strength, because by adjusting all the time, we always stay relevant for the new person that is joining us this year. A question that I always ask to top leaders when they come in to take a look at Zinzino and we get into the discussion of the compensation plan is that what's the most important? Is it the percentage of the cake that you get when you're going to eat cake? Is it the percentage that you get out of the cake that is the most important? Or will it be the size of the cake that you share with everyone? Now, when I ask it like that and I play out, you understand, it's not about the percentage, it's about the size. And that's what we've built in Zinzino. We've got a vision, we've got a product, we've got a fantastic management team that will continue to deliver so that you don't grow the business and then they destroy the business in the sense of that products doesn't get delivered or paychecks doesn't arrive. But it's that we've got then a team culture that is supporting people on the way. We've got a brilliant compensation plan. And this way, we can build a size of the cake where there is more than enough for everyone. So on the top, you will get more than enough, because when you build it big enough, a small percentage, when you get paid on the debt for everything that you do by helping and supporting your team, that will be enough. And in the beginning, well, we have a much higher percentage so that in the Foster program, there is no other company out there delivering what we do. And in the middle, it doesn't take too much. It just takes everything that you've got to be able to get to that first leadership level where you could become full-time together with us on our amazing journey to creating Zinzino the #1 company on the entire planet, which is what we're aiming to do over the next 25 years. I'm so excited about 25, I'm excited about 26, I'm more excited about 27, I believe. Eventually, I'm excited to get to 20 million customers and 100 million customers. And one of those cherries on the top that we put into the compensation plan, which really makes this a play for also the heavy hitter, the big leader. And that is that when you hit the president ranks, you will be rewarded with equity in the company. You get actually paid in the publicly traded shares, and you can be with us on that journey to grow. So right now, wherever you are in the world, wherever you're watching this from, make a goal of becoming a president one day. For some of you, it will be a year away. For others, it might be 2. For others, it will be 5. Maybe it takes you 15. It doesn't matter. At the point where you hit it, you will be rewarded. And that is going to be one of those things that sets us apart from everyone else out there. Now, the last thing that we do is that we inspire change in life. And we believe that when you become hungry, when you become humble, you're willing to grow, you're willing to change, you're willing to become a better version of yourself. You develop professionally, you develop personally. That's being humble, you're teachable. You take the input and you don't do the same tomorrow that you do today, because you decided that tomorrow I will take actions that are better. And then at the end, you become honorable. Then in a community like this, and I'm getting pretty excited here, at this point, when this happens, and we inspire change in life, we inspire people to become better. That's the center of what we do, because when somebody is changing, they're growing. When somebody is growing, they're becoming better. When somebody is becoming better, the impact increases. When the impact increases, there is no stopping in how far we can take it. I love you guys. Thank you so much. 2025 will be amazing. And every year from now until the end of the days, we will improve, we will get better. I love this journey. Thank you for being with us on it.